Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Do it too much. We got Alex in we just had a hype train. It was my first ever hype train. It was a little baby hype train. It had like 3 cars. Little hype train. It was mostly being yanked along by Joe. But that was fun. I never had a hype train before, I don't think. So we got some new emotes in the chat there. And yeah, you know what? I do want to do custom bit emotes as well, for sure. But yeah, we unlocked... what do we unlock? Here are the custom emotes available for you guys. Obviously, I'm going to post the... this is the Sadie collection. And then we recently apparently we got our first hype train, which is this, the hype heart and the hype frog. Very cool. Those are the ones we got. And then it looks like I got some other stuff unlocked in here, but I'm not sure why. Including these Sir ones, which are adorable. I definitely want to draw new emotes in the near future. That'll probably be next Monday. We'll sit and do custom emotes and see if we can use that as a way to get people to want to like contribute to the show to get them. But yeah, super fun. Thank you all for that. Did I lose audio yet? No? Tech Bard's out of hand today. Whoa, why didn't you all tell me that my hair was doing that little floopity floop? That wasn't pretty. Beard's a little alright today. Yeah, it is what it is. This is what I look like. Can't pretend otherwise. I got if you can see, I got actual light blocking curtains back here so that we're not having sunlight streaming through, which, of course, would be happening. Oh. Stop checking out my ass. In my PJs. Ah, yeah. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough, Alex. Fair enough. So welcome to the Monday Method. Today, my studio is a little bit of a mess, but what are you going to do? I got capos crawling out of my ears and stuff kind of all over the place. Some microphones hooked up. Hey, new toy. I have I got a stereo bar here. So that's 2 microphones on 1 microphone stand because I'm trying to be, clever about stuff. But yeah, that's a new toy. And then of course I picked up some shakers and a tambourine and a few other things. So yeah, that's all gonna be involved in the show this Thursday. But today we're messing around with something I'm not good at, which is graphic design. I am bad at graphic design. I have done a lot of graphic design in my life, but all of it is based on Googling what other people who are good at graphic design have done, and then tweaking it until I'm happy. Yeah. So graphic design is my burden. I hate doing it. I always have. Hi.
Hi.
But I have to come up with something for Flutter and WoW. And so what I did was I grabbed a few photos of myself from the last little session I did after a show, which is the one where I had the Clockwork Orange inspired eyeliner, which is actually one of my favorite photo shoots I've done in a really long time. I thought I looked and felt attractive in those photos, and that was nice. So they're currently in contention for being in the Flutter and WoW cover, or some variant therein, but I may simply use them as practice, get the approach that I want down, figure out what kind of design I want, and then retake it. Take new photographs and do it again. That sort of remains to be seen, but we'll dive in and mess with it a little bit today. So let's flip over to Showtime, desktop share mode. And here we are with my Photoshop 2021. That's right, I did not pirate my Photoshop. I'm actually paying for this shit. Adobe's got my ass. They're really good at making it hard to pirate because all the pirated versions are buggy or something's fucked up with them or whatever. I may or may not try again some other time, but it's harder when you're a Mac guy. It's easier to crack that stuff for PC. So, and by the way, in case Twitch or whoever is watching, I'm not advocating cracked software. I am not advocating cracked software. Definitely don't crack your software. But here I am using Photoshop. Well, Doc, we can talk about you contributing some art to this if you get into it. See, I'm down to just share. I am down to just like share one account with a few people. I think that's the way of the world, man. But so here are the photos that I like, and I want you guys to talk. So photo 1. Oh, look at that! I got to take the filter off. Photo 1. Which right now is in a duotone situation, but we can turn those off. So here's the photo. I'll show you some of the stuff I've been playing with. Is this one right here, which I like a lot. I think it's moody and evocative or whatever. Then there's this one, which is currently my Facebook profile picture, but I find charming. I think I look, I don't know, something. It's got personality, and so I like that a lot. Plus, I was having a very good hair day, and the eyeliner was on point. Alex can barely contain himself. Alex doesn't have to contain himself. That's the thing I like, too, is I was having a really good hair day that day, and this is the same haircut, just with the sides shorn down. Like, I haven't had this cut at all, but it just was laying in a cool way that day. And then 3 is this one, which is, I don't know, am I a telepath or something? Can't really figure out what I'm trying to pull off there, but, you know, it's a thing. And again, threshold, not threshold, kind of whatever. I apparently can't keep the glasses on while I'm working in Photoshop. The blue light blockers screw everything up. This is, yeah, that's the same one again. So between these guys, what I figured was there's nothing more 90s than a duotone. So I started exploring doing a duotone, which is weirdly confusing for me. Second one was good, but you looked a little grumpy. You look a little more seductive in pick 3, so I like that. Whoa, Doc! See, that's what you should have done during the hype train. We'd gotten hype train level 4. That's bonkers, though. Thank you. And on behalf of Mark Digi215, Anka Duana, Hu Falaise, Leland Chouette, and Jules Laverne, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Alex likes pick 3. If I remember correctly, Alex is advocating this one, pick 3. Anyone else feel strongly about one or the other? I said it right. I don't know what I said. Can't keep track of the timing of. I don't know how long your lag is. I'm talking a lot. Like that it's a little seductive. I mean, great. That's seductive. Now, in this one, I look a little. I like that one too. I like this one, but it's a little aggressive. But this one does work really well in the duotone, which I'll show you. And I like this one because it's like a little sardonic. And yeah, I guess I look a little grumpy, but I'm kind of thinking of it as a, yeah, do your thing, a little sarcastic. And then, yeah, I guess this one is a little soft in the eyes. There is not a 4th one at this time. There could be. I can import the rest of that session. But those are the 3 that I liked best. Here, I'll pop in the others just so you can see the raw photos. I'll pop in a couple of the others that I thought weren't as good. So there was this profile shot. So there's a profile shot right there. Just want to make sure you can actually see this. Yeah. And then let me see. We got. I feel like there's this one here, but no, this one's slightly out of focus. That's not going to fly. Oh, there's this one which I think you guys have seen in one of my Asgard post. Hi.
Wish me luck.
Good luck. There's this one which you've seen in the Asgard post, which is, you know, funny. The growly one, which I like a lot, actually. I probably should have put that one in the list. Then again, I'm also not the best judge of when I do and don't look good, so yeah. Then there's this one, which now that I'm looking at isn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe there's some potential there. Guess I got a lot more choices than I thought. I'm going to actually talk about all the choices. There's this one, which again, probably I would say that has a seductive quality as well. It looks like I'm seducing someone off camera rather than seducing the camera. There was the funny one that I posted in the Red Tower group a while back, the Lamplighters group, where I was going, like, doing a Lucille Ball thing, but I don't want to use that one. So yeah, those are the options. So the options are, I guess let's re-rank them. Let's call this one A. Actually, wait. Let me get them all up and ready to rock, and then we'll go down the line and we'll rank them. So A will be this one. A is yeah. B, salute. C, passive gaze. This one needs a little cleanup, but the picture itself of me is quite good. And again, we're duotoning, so the artifacts in it aren't important. Same with this one. So this is can't keep track. A, B, C. This is picture D, which, you know, showing a little chest, soft in the eyes again. Got the emo hair thing down. Growly profile, which is kind of my least favorite. Assertive gaze. And then that one. So those are the options. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And now that I'm digging in a little bit, I'm not sure which one I like. I might like that one now. C and G are my top two. So C, G, those are Alex's top two. Tech Bard prefers assertive gaze. I don't think either of the aggressive ones say cover. Pick one in the Asgard. Okay, so that's another more votes for C and G, but we've also added that Tech Bard likes D. Currently, Doc likes the growl. I'm okay with the growl as well. Aggression is okay. I'd keep in mind, one of these might be the album cover, another one might be the t-shirt. I don't know. Let me show you what I'm thinking of doing to them, and we'll experiment on C for now, because it's gotten multiple votes. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna make it contrasty, and we're gonna go in here and we're gonna do a thing called threshold, which is reducing it to only 2 colors. And for some reason it's not working. What do we got going on here? I think I gotta rasterize you or something? Let's find out. Alright. Going into my adjustments again, and we're gonna see if the threshold will take this time. There we go. And I can control the amount of shadow and stuff in these thresholds to get things that I like, but I tend to like it in the middle, kind of somewhere around there. Maybe a little darker than that, actually. Yeah, let's get my shoulders into the mix. Stop when I have them. All right, and that looks, of course, not great, but we're not done, because we also have to add in the gradient map duotone filter, which does that to it immediately. And of course, keep in mind, before I did that to this photo, I would correct the extra selections over by the hair. I would feather all that stuff out so that it looked cleaner. But it starts to become this kind of thing, and then that's reversible as well. You know, you can kind of mess with that a lot. And then, let me see, I think that, no, not that, wait, is it you? I'm dragging stops around until I find the effect that I'm looking for. Because there's a version of this, that. There's a version of that, like that. Dock Yuru and accent the tree tattoo. Yeah, I would go in by hand probably and redraw those a little bit if I couldn't get them to show up cleaner with filtering. But it becomes that kind of look, or that's terrifying. Or that kind of look. So that's part of the reason I thought this one kind of worked as a cover, is because in that duotone vibe, it works a lot better. Or you get this kind of thing, or you get this kind of thing. Now, all of these, I think, are interesting in their different ways, but very Chairman. We don't want Chairman Mao, but keep in mind, the only reason that you think that is because printing used to be really expensive, and reducing things to 2 colors only was a way to keep printing costs down. And then, full color printing got cheap, so nobody's been doing these in a while. But they did dominate budget cassettes and, indie band stuff in the 90s, which is sort of what this whole project was inspired by. It was inspired by, Elliott Smith and guys like that. So I guess. Do you guys does seeing some of the I gotta threshold these before you guys can see what they would look like in the duotone, so give me a second. I'm gonna do a rough and ready duotone treatment of all of these very quickly, and just hang tight while I get that done, and then we'll see if it changes any of your feelings. So let's start with this one. Why are you fighting me right now? Certainly I don't want whatever the hell's going on there. Although that does make my chest look big. That's just kind of interesting. But there we go. Okay, so this one turns into this, and obviously I would black out or pink out more of this background so it wouldn't be quite that uneven. But this one doesn't work super well, because when it's full dark, I don't, you kind of lose me a little bit. And when it's around here, it's kind of working, but not stellar. This one would take a lot of work, but okay. That gets the point across. What about you? What you got for me? Actually works pretty well. Clean kind of gets the point across. C not being straight on would be more effective for a shirt, perhaps. G has some very subtle nods to vulnerability, your chin being tilted down, the hand toward your temple, etc. I like how cerebral the thoughts processes are, because I'm feeling quite cerebral myself. What's going on here? Where did you go? Image 6192. And then that one. See, I think there's some vulnerability to this one too, but there's the kind of the sauciness of the hands. Excuse you, it is not red and black, it is pink. I'm going with a fairly serious pink here. Not remotely looking at red, but I haven't decided what colors I'm going to use. That's one of those things where, popping back into the duotone gradient map that I created here, I can easily, flip into, doing it in blues, and then you end up with that, or this, or that, or that, or that, or that. I will say this one would require kind of the least work, but that's not a recommendation for it in its favor necessarily for me. I don't care about the amount of work required, but this one does sort of get there quickly because the background is really clean. See about bringing in some more of the light. So when I'm doing this kind of thing, I'll swing the light until it breaks, And for me, it breaks long before there. It breaks around there. That's when it starts to break for me, going lighter. Joni Bright? I'll take it. Because my eyebrows start to disappear, and I want to have eyebrows. Oh yeah, because of the album, Blue. Very, very fair point. You know, and then, you know, it kind of works in a variety of shades, because we can do it in a purple or this kind of like blue and orangey kind of vibe. It's not that hard, you know, that once you have the pattern created, that which I did off screen, so you guys weren't bored by it. You know, you can really move through color palettes quite quickly, and as long as they have a darker element, they don't look too bad. And then, you know, sometimes you end up with one like this, and you have to reverse the pattern, and that it all kind of works out. It becomes usable at least. So I find the duotoning effort interesting. Like you know, once you learn how to do it. Of course, I did learn how to do it by downloading a tutorial directly from Adobe. Don't mind me, I'm ignoring a friend request from a random pretty person who I don't know, because I know it's fake. We should talk about how you map at some point. Won't waste time now. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll be around. What other color patterns have we got? That was going in through the greens. I don't want to do it in grays because that's too monotone for me. And then these cloud there's a setting called cloud, there's a setting called iridescent, and some of them get a little too crazy for me. Like that doesn't really work in either set because there's just not enough of me there. And I haven't figured out a way to avoid that. You know, you can't darken it to the point where it starts to work, in my opinion. Though I haven't messed with this one enough to find out if I can change with the stops. I like the green teal, says TechBard. I like a lot of them for different reasons. It's probably going to take me too long to decide what I'm doing. Can I change the color directly of you? I can. So I could darken you. All right, so I could sort of manually change the colors a little bit. I'm leaning toward messing with something that's almost in a surf green kind of area, which I wonder what the hex code is for that. B4CFBO. Quick pro tip, if there's a thing that you like the color of, Google it and then the phrase hex code. Somebody on the internet has already figured out the Pantone or hex codes for the thing that you like. And so that would be if I wanted to change my skin right now to a surf green. Bam. That happens, and then... oh, it didn't take. Oops. I changed the wrong stop. Excuse me. Let's try that again. You input the hex code, and there you go. Now my skin is exactly Fender Surf Green, and that's the color that Fender paints their Surf Green guitars with. And actually, that's not bad, but I definitely want a darker tone for the rest of it. But keep in mind, what's actually probably going to happen is I'm going to print a single color, and the rest of this is going to be the color of the t-shirt. Can we see photo D again? The one at some point, the one with your head most forward. 1, 2, 3. You mean this one? Or one of them disappeared on me a little bit. Yeah, one of my photos disappeared. Hang on. Do you mean the one that's in the same... All right, wait. You don't mean A, you don't mean B, and you don't mean C, and I assume you don't mean that one. So I think you mean the one that apparently got scrubbed from the process, which is... Give me a second. I'll dive back into those and see if I can't find it. I think you're talking about this photo, which obviously, you know, would need to be thresholded before it looked in any way sane. So give me a second to do that. Interesting. You know, let me turn everything else off and dig on that photo for a second, because there's a thing I need to do where I need to mess with the amount of shadow and stuff in it, because when I'm thresholding it, I'm losing too much detail of my eyebrows and eyes, so I need to mess with the contrast and brightness a bit. So let's see what happens if we pull more of that and increase more of the contrast. So right now I'm lowering my brightness a little to increase the shadows of things, and then I'm contrasting harder so that hopefully when I go to the threshold step. Alright, let's see if that did it. Yeah, it catches more of the eyebrows. But does it catch enough that I can... So I want to see the pupils of my eyes. So this one turns my eyes a little Halloween-y, because I don't want that much crazy beard showing, or that, like, I don't want the beard looking like straw like this. Hard to say what level I like this at, though. But okay, let's just put it there for now, and then the gradient map turns it into, say, that somewhere in that area. You know, or in that. So there's something about this photo that's not working in this style for me, though. It's hard to say what it is. You guys see what I mean, though? Like, all the nice details of it kind of disappeared. It turned into this... Like, in this photo, my eyes are soft and I'm not angry in the mouth, but when you reduce it, it looks like I'm mean mugging. And I can't make it not do that with this treatment. At least it doesn't seem that I can. Because around there is where you start to see the softness in the eyes, and it starts to disappear very quickly. Yeah, this photo's out of the running. Doesn't mean I won't take additional photos and mess with them, but this one's definitely in the running. What's this one look like in that color palette? This one's very strong. I think my favorites are that, this, and probably that one once I've done the tweaks I need to do. Okay, give me a second with this photo as well. We're gonna pop this guy out of existence for a second and bring it in fresh. Because I like this photo a lot for some reason. I can't put my finger on. But what needs to happen is I need to cut some of that out. Now, I'm not good. Conversely, the processing helps take the confrontation out of the one with your arms up. Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's why I still like that one. You're talking about this one? Yeah, I look a little less evil with the filtering than I do there. Like, that looks angry, that looks moody. I still like that one too, to be honest, though. I don't know. There's a lot to mess with, but I definitely need to get cleaner margins on the hair and remove the background here a little bit. And there used to be a really useful feature that I don't fucking see anymore. So let me see what they replaced that with, because I don't see Refine Edge anymore. Alright, digging in to find out what's going on with that. Alright, I'm going to follow the steps on the Google tutorial. Sometimes it's all it is, y'all. Okay. Open an image of a person. Select the layer that contains the person, the portrait layer. In the Properties panel, go to Quick Actions and click Remove Background. Interesting. I didn't know that they had one of those. A straight up Remove Background button. No, they sure don't. That's not a thing. Maybe if I... It's got to be a rasterized situation. Yep. Remove background. Give me let me unselect everything under it, because that's just horrifying. My hand's just coming up out of the nothings. Okay. Fine tune with the layer mask. It's thumbnail on the portrait layer selected. Okay. Choose, select, and then select and mask. Okay, I don't know where to choose that. In the select and mask workspace, which I don't have yet. With the layer mask thumbnail on the portrait layer selected, choose, okay, got it, choose select, and then I don't have an option for select and mask. Let me see why. Sorry guys, do a semi-transparent growl over that picture. No, definitely not. Okay, not what I'm looking for yet. By the way, I can't tell. Are you guys even seeing all the menus and shit pop up? Because if you're not, I might have to edit how I'm sharing this stuff too. Maybe we'll go into desktop view eventually. Yeah, it looks like you're not seeing the windows popping up and down. That's great. I'm glad that's enjoyable, because it's a weird process, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not that good at it, but I'm trying to get better at it, because I can't afford to pay people. So I'm supposed to do this select and mask thing, but it's not working, and I don't know why. The option is grayed out. So I can't figure out why the option is grayed out. Okay. For the layer mask thumbnail on the portrait layer selected, which I don't know if I'm doing. No, I don't know what to do. Okay. Nope, not what I wanted to do. That opened up lens correction. Select the mask is supposed to be Shift R, but it's not working, but okay. On the other hand, that is pretty clean. It's not perfect though, and I want perfect. But let me just see where it's at. Huh. Okay, and then what happens if I change the colors of that gradient map? I had an old shared version of CS3 for years and made a lot of stuff. Made a really cool Pink Floyd collage back in the day. Brad Smurf. Yeah, that's why I'm about to change the colors, because there is a little smurfiness happening. But all right, that's better. That's better. Let me go back to a more. I want to go back to a more extreme color transition difference, just so that I can really see what I'm dealing with. Okay. And then, out of curiosity, if we don't hide you, do want to unlock you. Okay. Stuff about that doesn't work. Now I look like I'm Elphaba from Wicked. Alright, so this picture's got potential, but it's not super easy to work with. That's too angry. That could be a promo shot, but it's too angry to be the cover. One thing to think about, too, is that there's going to be a crop effect that might affect things as well. I have to do two versions. I have to do a cassette crop, and I have to do a square crop for everything else, digital downloads and all that. Everything wants a square crop. And I'll be honest, I still like this one the best, I think. Alright, going back and forth between C and G and A, which is the one I like. So C, I think, has to go come out of the running for now, just because it's difficult to work with. But again, I can always try to recreate these photos now that I know what I'm kind of looking for. So if we were going just between these two, what do we think? A, B. 2 hands, 1 hand. I can't decide. And most importantly, would you guys wear my freaking ridiculously dramatic face on a t-shirt? With, whatever on it. Because the t-shirt is likely to be, I will have my guy print all of the, say, for instance, right now in this photo, all the green color instances of this photo in whatever color on whatever color t-shirt. It's funny, I'm on Team A, but that's because I like the way, I think I look more handsome in A, I guess. I don't know. But in any case, what I was getting at was, let me play with the threshold on that one a little bit. People probably already think I'm your simp. Simp. Targeting that threshold takes it, well, that's obviously way too far, but that might be too far. Actually, that might work. Going that far the other way, going that much into the light. I'd have to go in manually and give myself eyebrows and a nose again. But it made the eyes look nice. Then again, I could also probably manually handle that. I think I like it there. Also, aren't you my simp? that moment between that, there's that span of time between when you start using a phrase ironically and because you think it's cringe, and when it enters your vocabulary. Like, I used to think yeet was dumb. I straight up say that shit now. Mood is in my lexicon. It's in the Brightgeist. I don't think most of your hair disappearing is terrible. Dude, I don't want to go bald. You're listening to TCPR. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite heists we did. Especially because I'm 15,000 words into Dystopia University, guys. All right, I like this. This could be easily printed on a two color anything. And before I get into that, yeah, I could probably, well, let me turn the gradient off. I could also attempt to do some adjusting of parameters to again, kind of increase and decrease things where I want them to be. So let's start with brightness and contrast. Whoa. Threshold, go away. Threshold, go away. Image adjustments. Let's mess with my levels a little bit. Okay, and that adds a little more darkness to things. And then I'm going to mess with brightness and contrast again. I actually want less contrast. It'll more brightness. I want to bring the shoulders in. I want to make it clear in the photo that there's, a shoulder happening. Okay, and then it's funny, we're getting close to the threshold effect without doing it, but now we're gonna do it. Yeah, okay, that worked really well. And then with the color back in, there you go. I have eyes and eyebrows. It's exciting. I have both. $200K. It's funny, it looks like I have a skinny arm there, but we all know I do not. I used to. That Pink Floyd collage is creepy and hilarious, and I like it, Doc. I just agreed to sing a country song about beer. I'm actually being asked if I'd be interested in doing a whole country album, and not as a gun for hire, like literally doing a country album and putting it out. And I am actually thinking about it, even though it would feel a little bit like selling out, because, selling out comes with money. But I did already... I did already make it clear to the guys who asked me that if I went that route, they would not be able to expect me to be inauthentic. Like, I'm not gonna sing in a southern accent. I'm not gonna put on the cowboy hat and boots. I'm not gonna act like a good old boy. I'm not gonna tell people I'm from the South or from the country. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't grow up in the city, that I don't sleep better with buses going by than I do with owls hooting. And I'm not going to pretend to be anything other than the guy liner wearing leftist loudmouth that I hope you all know and love. But they said okay to all of that and still asked me to do the song, so it's something to think about. All right. I'm getting really, really, really happy with this, except that I don't like that green. So let's start by seeing it in the monochrome. Okay. Because if it works in monochrome, it'll work in whatever color, and we can just arrange to have it printed in, you know, printed in white on red shirts, printed in green on blue shirts, whatever we decide to do, which you guys are going to help me figure out as well. Farther, I just want to see the two extremes. Face is coming back, face is coming back, and I think we hit the sweet spot there for me. You guys agree? That's 150. That's that's 1160. That's not what I want. That's 160. I think 160 is about the sweet spot. If we go any further, let's say 170. I think that's getting too dark, and I think it definitely breaks it by 180. Well, the other thing to remember is that there's nothing to stop me from, speaking of your bit about the turquoise variant really working for you. Everyone does have different tastes, so I want to go for something as universal as I can, but that being said, nothing would stop me from printing the black on whatever color shirt we wanted. You know what I mean? So then if we took this black and you decided you wanted a teal shirt, then I would just dig around for teal flavor and shabam, or print the white on a teal shirt, as it were. I think it definitely breaks by 180, but yeah, it could theoretically survive 170. Let me look at it at 170. Yeah, I don't think it's broken by then. Split the difference, 165. So I think that the idea is the design is going to be just the white, and then it prints on, whatever color t-shirt we decide. I do not know how many variants I can offer in a single order. We might have to try to come to some kind of consensus as a group. But I like this, I like teals and greens for the album for some reason. I'm not sure why. But okay, let me see now. Nothing like broken typewriter font. That. Sorry, Adobe is saving. It's making me wait. What do you keep saying the target channel is hidden? That's not accurate. Flutter. And wow. Nicotine gave... That's funny. That's funny. Nicotine is a bluish green song for me. And now, of course, the other question is, do we lean fully into the duotone by doing, and do the t-shirts even have interesting. That looks good to me. Did I just come pretty close to an album cover? I don't have moves, Doc. Why would you even say some nasty shit like that, dude? That's mean. I haven't got moves. I'm fit-ish. 175-ish weight in, a month or so. Maybe 2. if I remain consistent, because I'm going to be working out with Abstracker. The shame spiral. Oh God, shake it off. Not fucking Mubi. All right. I'm thinking too much today. Thinking way too much today. No need to punish him. Plus, he could just give it back. So, one of my favorite things to do is to give everything a worn texture. And like that. So I'm going to try on this. So I'll drop in one of my favorite washed and worn textures. Give you guys a look at it. Stretch the bottom out further because I like those big details, so I want mostly those big details in. Bring it back down to the photo that I'm actually thinking about using, and then let me see if I'm gonna get this correct on the first try. No, not quite. Gotta mask it downward. There yet. There's a way to do this, and I've done it a million times. Oh, I think I have to rasterize this layer first, so let me, instead of doing that, let me duplicate it. Getting close. Gonna figure this out. So maybe I should do that. Having trouble getting the clip mask. Let's see. Christ, I've done this so many times. Okay, let me just clarify something for myself. Okay, so you're supposed to be here. Oh, you're being a little son of a bitch. Got it. Alright, you are clipped. What's going on here, guys? I'm trying to clip this washed, worn texture to things. Oh. the time and have things visible over top by mistake. Give me a second. Gotta redo all that work again. All right. Dopey dopey boy. If anybody knows I'm doing wrong here, let me know. I'm just running through my tutorial again because I'm fucking forgetting how I do this. Okay. Could have sworn the image that this image needed to be up top. Go get some bacon, dude. Alright, well, let's try this another way while I figure this out. We're going to try multiplying the layer on top and seeing how that does it. Now, see, I hate that. No, absolutely none of that's going to work for me. And if I do the other reverse, if I do this... Nope, not going to work for me. Mask. I'm gonna clip to you. Alright, and now we're gonna grab our brush. I think I remember how to do this. I think I gotta go to black. And I think if I grab a black brush, it's supposed to... Ooh, wrong thing. On the wrong layer. So I'm supposed to... Come on. Ah! Alright. Well, you're kicking my ass right now, Photoshop. Let me try another way. What if the green is the textured? I don't know what you mean. Alright. How do I open this goddamn... I want to edit the freaking contents of this thing. instead of texturing the white. That's what I'm trying to do, Doc. I'm not trying to texture the white, I'm trying to texture the green. It's just resisting. For some reason, it's not letting me. Okay. Because I'm trying to link the texture as a smart object so that I can do a layer mask. But for some reason, I seem to be doing it wrong. Hey, Alex is live over in his channel. We're gonna raid him in like a 20-30 minutes or something. Something good happened there for a second. Ooh, not that though. I accidentally killed one of my textures. I'll have to re-download that later. Oops. It's okay, I grabbed a slightly subtler one. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, so it's definitely back there. Nah, I'm overthinking it. I shouldn't do this. I should probably... I'm not even sure that texturing it's working at all. Alright, let me Facebook, you were killing me. Or not Facebook, at Photoshop, you were killing me right now. I'm so used to it being Facebook. It's really not hidden. It's not letting me paint on anything. Maybe vignette the edges in black or progressively darker values of the teal. I love the use of vignette. I mean, I could try a vignette. Don't mind that if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Because I'm certainly not going to use that. I need to bring in the right version of the photo that I want to use. Delete that layer mask. course, vignetting won't work for the t-shirts. And also, I don't need to do a washed and worn texture on the t-shirts. That would just require getting pre-washed t-shirts and printing on them. Which, you know, I can do because my printer lives a mile and a half from me. Alright, let's try a vignette. Just because I'm curious what it will look like. So then we've drawn our oval. That's about where the vignette will begin. We're gonna feather the edges because we don't want it to be like super dark outside of that. We want it to get gradual, so we'll feather it pretty big. Let's say like 150 pixels and see where that looks us. Okay, and then we invert the selection. So now we've selected everything except that. We have to add a curve layer. Where do I do that? Layer. I need new adjustment layer. That's what I need. Okay, and this should be getting us what we need. No, not go ahead. Do I have something selected up front that I don't want? Oh, I know what's going on there. Hang on. Gotcha. Okay, okay. And now, move the curve vignette to there. I have to add the layer mask to the correct. Clip you to this. Okay, am I able to see these fucking vignettes yet? No? Because the gradient map fucked me up there, y'all. Give me a second. Let's try that again. We want a vignette from somewhere around there. Let me just very quickly refine and feather that out again. And then we invert the selection, and then we create a new adjustment layer in that shape. And what we want is curves, because that's what I'll be using for vignetting. And it should be as simple as dragging those curves around to control the effect of the vignette. And I can see this is correct. Are y'all not linked or something? I don't need you to be clipped. Do I need you to be above it? That's what I needed. I need you to be above it. Jesus fucking Christ. It's a little bit of a halo-y kind of effect. I don't like the settings of the curves. I think I need a smaller... Can I change the feathering after the fact? Still, there's some relevance to the idea, I think. Yeah, it's giving me 80s hair. But I'm sort of okay with that, too. 80s hair is kind of fun. But what I think happened for me is that I don't like the size of those curves. So I want a less extreme vignette. So I'm gonna make a much bigger oval. And then I'm going to feather it harder. Okay. Now that I know how to do this, it goes pretty quick. Again, I'm getting like this. It's so drastic. I need it to be less drastic. That's the thing. I don't want it to look like Saint Bright either. And unfortunately, with the way that this works, I can't adjust the drasticness of the feathering ahead of time. I gotta get it right. Let's try a much larger feather. See how that lands us. My wife is back. Is she happy? Can't tell. Said my wife is back. Is she okay?
Make it work.
So no solution from them? New adjustment layer curves with a much bigger gradient control there. That's actually a lot better. Now we're talking. Hey, that looks really nice. It's not some ridiculously grossly drastic circle. No matter what I do, it's much subtler. Now that's Saint Bright, right about here, Saint Bright. But yeah, I can get pretty subtle with it. And I really like that. Y'all, that might be the cassette cover. I mean, it's gonna have to be cropped probably more like no. You give me an unconstrained preset, you jerks. No, stop it. You stop it, you cropping bastards. It's probably gonna have to be around this proportion. Which will necessitate redoing the vignetting. Give it a second. Actually, it kind of doesn't. Kind of works still. But that's, the realm of what we're looking at. I really like it. Good on you, Tech Bart. That works. And then, okay, for the merch, we would lose the curve, obviously. Some of this, maybe, as on the t-shirts. This stuff will be up in the merch if they want it, but not bad.
Pretty.
Yes, you are. Well, we'll figure it out.
Discontinued. It doesn't exist in any stores.
You shall have to tell the tiff.
I told Tori and Mary. They're like, we'll figure something out. Don't worry about it. Bring it Friday. I'm like, I'm not waiting to Friday to figure something out for
No.
the wedding on Saturday.
No, we need somebody who can do alterations.
So,
This is why people think you're my simp, Joe. I want that on my wall. Actually, I really... Just because I am curious. I'm going to save you. I'm looking up the actual proportions I need. Four by 2 by 4.25 by 2.75. So that would be in this realm. Let's see what happens to the image when I... Oh, we obviously wouldn't want it to do... I didn't ask y'all to do that. Canvas size, that's why. 5.5 inches by... Ooh, do this in my head. 8.5 inches? 4.25 doubled is 8.5. 2 3/4 doubles 5. Yep. Ooh. Okay, that's the right proportion. No, it is not. 8.5 high. Let's see where that lands us. Oh, 5.5 wide. Derp. Yeah. Of course, this is all not final. And then these, of course, we want to move back into frame. Let's blow that up. That is pretty close to what I think the cassette cover is going to look like, yo. I think that's pretty close. Ah, stop. Photoshop, you're such a little turd. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Okay. Y'all, you helped me crack it. I think this is the rudimentary basis that will become the actual Flutter and Well album cover. And we'll do variants, probably the shirt or something along those lines. You know, we'll do different variant things and, you know, do a poster, t-shirt, cassette, all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, that means I'm finished and placed in the order, which means my next step is going to be to create the web page for pre-orders, because we're there. Let me come back over to Showtime. This is really exciting, y'all. We're helping me do that. Obviously, if you're here, you know what time it is. It is time to do a raid. We're gonna start trying to do raids at the end of all the damn shows, because there's no... I'm gonna let TechBard do it, because it's more fun for me that way. Joe, go ahead and trigger the raid on Alex. Let's do this. And thank you all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. If you got any questions in the few minutes before we land over in Alex's channel to say hi to him before we all go about our night, you let me know.